What do you
asking.
mean by the
Mr.
external sheet?
Can I ask you a question, Mr. El Kuki? Mr. When are we gonna have our test? When will we have our test?
Our test at the moment is for like 2 weeks from now. We're working on making the test now.
What
So
test will HTML or Excel or
Excel is finished. The next test is all on HTML and CSS.
HTML?
Only
Multiple choice, Mister?
Yes, we're
Or
trying to get a lot of multiple choice questions and some short
Mister, all
answer
of it
questions.
multiple choice, no problem. All of
Yeah,
it.
we're going to try and get as many multiple choice as we can. Okay. And
Okay, thank
yeah,
you so much.
cheers. We're working on that now. So what I'm trying to show you is this bit here. In the head, we can have a link tag, and in the link tag, we can refer to a CSS document. Now, what will happen there is in the CSS document, which I've called it my styles. Here it is here, my styles. In the CSS document, that's where we put all of our styling. Now, why do we do that? Because if we can do that, we can use this styles for many different. So I mean, I put this into the index, and I could also put it into every other file, right? So did I just close that? Unable to open it. Okay, so it's not there. So it's somewhere. It would wasn't it here? Yeah, there we go. So if I open that, and then see all this stuff I've got here in the style, all of that could be moved into the okay, all of that could be moved into the CSS. Now we don't need style tags because this is now an external style. And as long as then all of this could be applied to all of our files. If we had, so if you wanted to have a website where you had multiple files and you wanted them all styled the same, you put all your styling into a single file. You don't have any style tags, but instead of the style tags in the place where you normally would put the style
Sir, there's
tag.
some people in the waiting room.
Yeah, always is. In the place where you would put the styles, so in the head, in the place where you would put the styles, instead of putting styles, you put this link. And so what the link does is, again, in the head, is that then the styling is set up in a single place that's going to apply to all of these pages. Now, I don't know if that's going to work in this case, but maybe. Let's see. Save that. Save each of these.
Sir, could you let Natala in?
So what does opacity 0.6 means?
Opacity comes from the word opaque. Opaque means that you can't see through it. As it's the opposite of transparent. And so we did this in this website which we looked at last time, or at least there's a video on that, Lab 2. The opacity is how much
Sir,
light.
there is someone in the waiting room.
I see. Opacity has to do with does the light come through it or not. And so it's going to be a number. And so you can see it here. What we're saying is the opacity is 0.6. It's going to be a number which is going to be between 0 and 1. If the opacity number is 1, it means nothing comes through it. If the opacity number is 0, that means all the light comes through it and that you can't see.
Why are you using this for body? Why not for the background?
Well, what we're actually doing is we're making the background come through. So haven't we got? Somehow I've missed it here. Yeah, it's not in this page. It's in. I guess it's in another page. But we have a background image. You use opacity especially for that. Please have a look for the opacity thing. Please have a look at the video that I made yesterday. That shows it quite nicely, I think. So if you look here, gosh. If you look here in yesterday's exercise, you're going to see that. Do you see this image here? I hope you can see that now. Can you see? Yes, I am screen sharing. If you see this image here, do you see that it seems like the images are not uh, they're not opaque. There's something coming through them, and what we have is we actually have this text coming through the image, and so the text is actually the text is laid on top of the image, but the image is only partially opaque, so it seems like the text is coming through the image. And so that's the effect that you're having, is you're having an image that seems to sort of fade. So do have a look at that. That's in lab 2. Have a look at that video and you'll see how that works. Sorry that this is, there should be, well, let me go and look here in that. Where is that? Problem is I'm trying to look where did I put that I think it was, oh, here we go, lab 2. So yeah, so if we look at the index, oh, that's kind of bad. So in this case, do you see the image here is the opacity here was set to 0.6, and so it's so that we have one image fading into the other. That's the idea sort of behind it. And so
Sir,
this,
that's a funny website.
sorry, that's a what?
That's a funny website.
It's a bad website, yeah. So if you look at the video that I made, I finished doing this on my laptop, and it comes out a lot better. So we changed the picture. We put the picture as the college picture, and then the words came through, and it kind of looks a bit more like this. But the idea is that you have a picture and you have something else, and you have them one on top of the other, and you can still see the other thing. Because the picture has the opaqueness is less than 1, and you could make it a lot lighter. Yeah, so that I'm not going to sort of just talk about this incessantly. Really, I will refer you to the video that I made on it, which is there. You got a couple of videos there. Have a look at those. That'll give you the idea. That what I was trying to give you the idea today was just on this concept of having an external style sheet, because that's going to come up a lot in the future. You're probably going to want to use those. External style sheet is going to be able to style for you. It's going to be able to style for you your okay, so on that, I've been asked to record this again. There's 2 ways of doing a background. One way is with you can put a background command, or it says their property inside a body tag, or any, well, it'd be best inside a body tag. This will apply to the entire page. So this would be some kind of image. I'm not sure what images we've got there. So yeah, there's some images here. I could use any of these as a background. So I could say background would be, this is the schedule. So it should be, go to the root and then go to images. And then I could just pick up one of these files and make it background. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to put it into your CSS. And I think if this is old CSS, so I don't think I've got it there. There's nothing in the info page. Look at the video. You'll see the other way of doing it, but you can, in the CSS, you could put a background there, right? So you could say for the body, you could actually, instead of a background color, you could say background image instead. So you could take out the background color and you could put in an image, and you could just you could put, if you did that, you'd say URL, and then you'd put the name of the image there. So this could be from the root go to images, and that way I could get a background image using CSS. So two ways of doing a back. If you're going to do that, you wouldn't want this, right? You wouldn't have a background color if you had a background image, right? Unless you made the background. No, you'd have to put it in a different tag. So you would take that out. Now, how would you take that out? You can comment it out. So that means that it's still there, but it's not going to do anything. So I'm just doing that. I'm just commenting out in case I want to change back to that color later. So this is one way of doing a background image, by doing it as a CSS. The other way of doing a background image is to put a background property inside a tag. So yeah, I know that came up